Hello basketball coaches and basketball players, my name is Alan from Al's Basketball Training, and today I'm going to talk to you about how you can handle pressure in basketball, whether it be from you dribbling the ball up the court as a point guard or as a center into the low post, or if you're just taking free throws only. So if you hear any noises in the background today, there's construction happening right there, so I apologize. So my first tip for point guards is avoid the sideline. You don't want to be dribbling up the sideline because that is what the pressure defense wants you to do. So on a pressure defense, what they want you to do is to dribble up the sideline so that they can trap you at the half court line. So a good pressure defense is going to force you up the sideline up until you get past half court, and as soon as you get into this general area. When you're here, they're going to trap you right away if they're really good, and there's going to be a defender here, and there's going to be a defender here. The reason why this is going to be pressuring you into doing bad things and mistakes is because you can't go past half court, because now that's an over and back charge against you. You can't go left, you can't go forwards because there's defenders there. You could try to kind of split them, but there's always that chance of them stealing that ball, especially if they're good defenders. You could try and hug the sideline and get past him. However, that's now going to basically put you out of bounds most likely, and if they just barely nudge you, it's going to be pushing you out of bounds, and there's probably not going to be a call. And obviously you can't go right because there's a bee around me. Nope. Because there's a sideline there and you'd be out of bounds. There's been a bee following me around all fucking day. So what you really want to do is go dribble up the middle of the court, and that's going to allow you to have less pressure. Now, of course, they're going to be forcing you and trying to get you towards one of the two sidelines, and that's going to happen. However, if you can try to stay going up the middle, or starting to dribble to one side of the court and then reverse the ball over to the other side so that they can get up and the defense then has to then swing to the other side, it's going to allow you to have an opening down the middle of the court. So one way that you can beat a press defense is by dribbling up towards the right side. Don't go straight towards that sideline. Reverse the ball. Have your other player dribble up a little bit off the sideline, but not right to the sideline. Stay like a good 3 to 4 feet away from it. Then you can cut up the middle. He can pass you the ball, and then you can get past half court. Now that's just a very simple two-man press break that you can run without having an actual set press break being ran. So as a player, if you can show your other guard this video, then that can help you if you get caught on a press defense without running a press break. So in the half court, if they're doing a press half court defense, which means that they're basically playing a zone defense and having a double team on the free throw line extended or up top, what you need to do is swing the ball really quickly. So of course, if you're a really good ball handler, you can try and break down a double team, but believe me, that's not the easiest thing to do. It's going to make your coach ticked off at you, and if you get the ball turned over, it's not going to make you look very good. So the easier way to run against a double team is just to pass the ball off, maybe go and set a screen away for somebody, whatever it may be. But as a ball handler, you don't need to be dribbling the ball the whole entire time. And if you're a player who likes to go one-on-one all the time against his man, it's going to shut you down really quickly if there's a pressure defense. So what you need to do is get rid of that ball and find an open spot on the court for a shot, or get rid of that ball, screen away, and help your other players on your team get open for an open shot for themselves. So what happens now if you're coming down in single coverage, you're calling like a horns or 2-3, 2-3, and now all of a sudden they just double team you. What you need to do is remember the fact that as soon as somebody double teams you, there's going to be one player open on the court. And a good way to remember this is it's a 5-on-5. So if you've got 2 players on you, there's 4 other players on your team, and one of them doesn't have a man. So what you need to do is, as soon as that double team happens, communicate to your team and try and figure out who the man who is open and get him even more open. So if he's the man way on the other side of the court, maybe take a few dribbles back so you can open up a little bit more passing lanes. Take a few dribbles back and then point to him and say cut, and you can send up an alley-oop. You can get around that guy on the right side and pass him the ball, whatever it may be, but you need to figure out who the open man is. So when I got into grade 11 and grade 12, the one thing that I struggled with was the low post, mainly because I was a low post player up until that time, and I turned into a guard because everyone overshot my height. I stopped growing at 6'2", and centers were starting to become 6'5", 6'7", 6'9", and I turned into a guard. But every once in a while, they would run a play for me in the low post because I was a very skilled low post player. The one thing I struggled with, though, was the double team. So if they were running a 2-3 zone defense, I had the middle defender on me. I had the guy from the wing drop down on me, so it was a double team. They had that player moving out and defending both of those wing players there if we were in an overload. And then we had this guy on that side pop over to defend the high post over here and the point. And that third far defender was guarding that whole side. Now, the one thing I really struggled with was this double team because I couldn't just pass it out because we're having like a 6'5" and a 6'9" guy on me most of the time, or a 6'7" guy. So what we had to do, or one thing that I figured out how to do, was instead of trying to struggle up a shot against two defenders, I can do a quick move right to the middle where I can get this ball. All of a sudden I'm double team, I'm keeping the ball high. I can go bang into the middle. I've now created space. I'm now one-on-one against my guy. And now I've got this guy starting to collapse on me, which now we've got one or two players out on that right side. I can now kick the ball out to one of those two players, or maybe one might be cutting baseline where I can just drop it off to him. And I got tons of assists from getting that ball in the low post, keeping it high, one dribble to the middle. As soon as that happened, we had a wing guy cutting down baseline, and I would just drop it off to him for a nice easy layup or a nice easy reverse. So that's a nice little tip for the post players who are getting pressured as well. Now, I hope that this video helps you become a better basketball player, whether it be as a point guard, shooting guard, post player, whatever it is. I hope it helps you. And if you'd like, go check out some custom practice plans in the link in the description below, and I'll see you guys again tomorrow for another Twice a Day basketball video.